The beauty of nature mixes with the horror of fire.
When I see all the dead trees, I just see what used to be here and the beauty that used to be here and what's going to come back. I mean,
Tammy Ore likes where she lives.
it's never going to be the same, but it's still going to be beautiful. It's still beautiful the way it is.
She bought a rebuilt home in the middle of where the Hayman Fire burned 20 years ago.
It was sad back then. It was black. It was dark. And it was a skeleton forest.
It still is.
The Cheeseman Reservoir actually split the fire like this.
Maren Chambers is an ecologist
Yeah, it's a little bit of a moonscape, right?
with the Colorado Forest Restoration Institute.
I was astounded. It's astounding to see this.
She studied this area about 50 miles south and west of Denver for years.
This is an 18 square mile patch, so this is unprecedented in the historical record.
A patch where the fire was so intense, the trees are barely regrowing even after all this time.
These environments that get severely burned are going to be changed for a long time, and it's not like other ecosystems where we see within 20 years a forest very easily and visually growing back.
Chambers says the problem is seeds from existing pines are just too far away.
The trees that are over here may get out into here, but they're not going to get out way, way over there.
She also says the sun is too hot
There is no shade.
and the ground is too difficult.
These are really unique soils. For Colorado, it's called pike granitic soil. These are almost like marbles, you know.
The U.S. Forest Service is planting new trees, but Chambers says the effort is limited by access.
A lot of these areas that we're looking at here that are farther from roads are not going to be reforested actively.
Things like this have lower densities,
Mike Battaglia,
but when we compare that to what we see historically,
he's a research forester for the Forest Service.
these are not recovering.
Battaglia says the process of replanting
I feel like it's like a drop in a lake.
cannot keep up with the need and the size of fires like this.
You have to grow them out in nurseries, then you have to transport them back out to the field 2 years later and then plant them.
And he says large, severe burn areas like the Hayman are becoming more common because of efforts over the years to fight fires. Forests are growing too dense, creating a stockpile of fuel.
It's kind of like your lawn. You're maintaining your garden and your lawn. You can't just let it go.
The answer, Battaglia says, is thinning out forests by cutting down trees and using prescribed burns.
We think that we can start living with fire rather than just trying to avoid fire.
Humans have a really short lens of time. And the trees that previously lived in this exact spot, they were hundreds of years old.
So just 20 years later, Chambers doesn't see a barren burn scar. She sees growth on a smaller scale and a habitat that the wildlife has adapted to.
And I'm an optimist. Well, you know, for better or worse, I'm an optimist. And I think you kind of have to be an optimist when you're looking at some of the kinds of changes that we're seeing on our landscape.
It's growing. When I first moved here, it was only this big. It was pretty little, so it's grown quite a bit since I moved in.
On Ore's land, some trees are coming back naturally. She's finding little signs of hope
Raspberries, right here.
and replanting across her land.
You have to take the beauty with what it is now, and in the meantime, you help it.
In a place where it looks like time stands still or sees it moving as fast as a tree grows.
But it's doing great here, I think. It's thriving. Will I see it full of the trees that are dead now? Not in my lifetime,
With photojournalist Tom Cole.
but maybe in 75 years from now, the kids will be able to.
Nelson Garcia, 9 News.
The U.S. Forest Service has a 10-year strategy that includes replanting trees in burned areas like the Hayman Fire and the use of more prescribed burns to reduce wildfire danger across the state.